couple of big Zelda nerds request a some vlog that revolved around Zelda, and I was thinking of doing like a 3 great games vlog of the Zelda series. And there's just too many good games in that series, and there's too many that are kind of similar to each other, so it was hard just to narrow it down. So, anyways, I'm going to give a shot at all of them. Came out originally in 1986 with The Legend of Zelda on the NES, and it was created by Miyamoto, who is the same guy that created the Mario series, so that guy has a shit ton of money. And I actually don't currently own the original Zelda, Zelda 2 on the original NES, and I don't own Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time on the N64 because they put out Legend of Zelda promotional disc that was collected. Those 4 games came out in the GameCube, and if you had purchased like a special edition GameCube, it was packed in with it. So it's cooler to me to have them all on one disc. It's sort of a collector's item now. It's like $40-50, if you can find it used. But it's about the same damn price if you were going to buy them all separately anyway. You actually probably would end up paying a little bit more. But in this one actually came with a playable demo of the Wind Waker, which was also on GameCube. I know I'm kind of skipping around in the series here, but just at what's arm's reach, I'm going to grab first. Wind Waker was the first game in the series that had a different art style that it was called cel shaded. Looked a lot more cartoony, some sort of like cutouts almost in some parts, and a lot of people weren't too thrilled about it. It has a younger, like more googly-eyed looking Link. I did dig it. It introduced the aspect of a sea travel in a boat, and you could find different treasures and things using like a little crane over the side. And I thought that was really cool. This one actually comes with Ocarina of Time and Ocarina of Time Master Quest. Master Quest was original only in Japan, and then they put it out on this edition, and then there was another Ocarina of Time only with no Wind Waker that came out on GameCube 2 as another pack-in special edition thing. Master Quest is pretty much just a harder, enhanced version of Ocarina of Time. So if you've beat the hell out of Ocarina of Time and never played the Master Quest, it's definitely a thing to give a shot, just for a little bit of a different spice in the game. When the original Link to the Past came out on Super Nintendo, I actually did not play that. And when A Link's Awakening came out, also both these games count in the early 90s, I didn't own a Game Boy for Link's Awakening, so I kind of bypassed those 2 games for quite a few years. And then I ended up playing A Link to the Past on the Game Boy Advance, which I do own. It's in one of those cases up there or down there, so I'm not going to dig it out. I don't own the original cardboard box for it, but that came with the one on Game Boy Advance came with a game called Legend of Zelda 4 Swords, and it was the first multiplayer Zelda game, which was really cool, but it was kind of short, and I remember I didn't have like any other friends that owned the game at the time, so I couldn't really play it on there, so I was really stoked when they released Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventure on, Adventures on the GameCube. It's up to 4 players. If you want to play multiplayer, though, it's a little frustrating. Oh, the light's a little funky, hold on. Because you have to have 3 other Game Boy Advances if you want a total of 4 people to play, and you have to have link cables to link the game to the Game Boy Advance. So that made it a little bit hard. Not a lot of people had, that many accessories or that many friends that owned the system also. So if you can, find 1 or 2 friends that have it, or even just 1, it's still a fun game to play, as 2 people. Playing as 1 isn't as quite enjoyable. If you do play as 1, you actually control all 4 links yourself. But it was a cool idea, and for multiplayer and for like sort of a party atmosphere, it's a lot of fun because you actually you can be friendly with each other, or you can be dicks and try to collect all the jewels and stuff in each level for yourself. So it has a competitive feel to it too. Let's see. My my first portable Zelda game that I really enjoyed and beat and played all the way through were on the Game Boy Color, and that was the Oracle of Ages, and I don't have a box for it, but Oracle of Seasons. And those games actually can link together, and you can get like friends and enemies from either games to come across from both versions. So that was a really cool feature for back then, and they had a really cool storyline. I definitely got into them a lot, and ended up, like I said, I beat them. I haven't beat all the Zelda games. I've played them all, but I've been a little bit slacking when it comes to actually finishing them all. My wife has finished them all. She's a huge fan of the Zelda series, and has probably played Ocarina of Time like 5 or 6 times and beat it. And then they're actually re-releasing the Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 3DS, obviously upgraded with 3D graphics and a little bit better polish to the overall game. So that I'm looking forward to. That comes out on June 16th, so pretty soon from now. And I will probably play and beat that again, which will make that probably like the 3rd time for me that I've played Ocarina of Time. Let's move on. More portable Zelda games that came out were on the DS. There was the Phantom Hourglass, and that came out in 2007. And then there was Spirit Tracks, which came out in 2009. Both games have a similar art style and feel to the Wind Waker. They are cel-shaded still, and they have more of like a younger, funnier vibe. Phantom Hourglass has the ship aspect still in it, and Spirit Tracks adds a different vehicle to roam around in, which is a choo-choo train. And in this game, actually, Zelda takes the form of this knight that's on the cover. She actually embodies it, and I won't give away any parts of the story, but that's a definitely different aspect from most of them of just rescuing Zelda. But then this one came out back on the Game Boy Advance, Zelda Minish Cap, based around this little hat with a bird head on it that talks to you and helps you out throughout the game. It has a really unique aspect in the sense that you can shrink down to a little tiny version, like a flea-sized version of you, and get into different areas of building stuff to solve puzzles or continue the quest that you can't reach as full-sized Link. I actually thought this was pretty decent. Not my favorite in the series, but I like the different ideas that they use, like the vehicles in the other games, or the the shrinking aspect in this one. My favorite game in the series personally is Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Came out on GameCube and the Wii. Originally was just supposed to be on GameCube, but they decided to wait a little bit longer for the release of the GameCube version and just also put it on Wii with motion controls. I prefer the Wii version a little bit more because it does control really well. The graphics look a little bit better, and sorry, my thumb just got in the way. But it has a little bit darker tone to it and darker feel, which in my video games, I tend to go for that route. So I put in a lot of time, playing this and enjoyed it, and really spent a lot of time looking at, the scenery and the monsters and stuff like that. So definitely recommend that if you have not played Twilight Princess yet. Let me think if I missed anything. I have like a cheat sheet sort of like the time frame of all the games. It looks like I covered everything for the most part. I mean, the only other thing that is coming out really soon, besides the Ocarina of Time on the 3DS, is the Skyward Sword, which will be on the Wii. Unfortunately, they've pushed it back quite a few times, and there's no current release date for it. But hopefully it'll be out by the end of 2011, and that looks really great too. Has a older Link in it, like Twilight Princess did, but graphic style of sort of a weird mix, a little bit lighter color palette, and not as dark. So we'll see, how much I dig that one, since I'm a dark, spooky bastard. But I want to show real quick that, let's see. If you can tell, in the back there's a package that has a Link, Zelda, and a Ganon in it. Those are actually our wedding cake toppers, the Link and Zelda. And it was my wife's idea, and I think it turned out really cool. And then right up front there's a Sheik statue, which is Zelda, you know, you're not supposed to know it's Zelda, but it's Zelda.